and I turned around, and this girl came back up to me. Her name was Nicole. And I didn't realize I'd already given her a tract, but she came back. And she said, I want to thank you for this. And she was referring to the gospel tract. And then it said, thank you for being out here. She said, my name's Nicole. She said, I'm a Christian, and I've really been struggling this week. She said that there was some things that was going on in her life, and some of those things she told me, and I won't share. But one of the things she said was that her parents were going through a divorce, and she got that gospel tract, and it really encouraged her. It really helped her. And it was just a gospel tract. I just gave it to her, and she walked away, read it, and came back. And so I was able to share some things with her, and told her to just continue to trust in the Lord, and find comfort in Him, despite some of the things that she was experiencing this last week, and or been going through and struggling in. And so you never know how gospel tracts, or giving the gospel, being present, and just sharing the gospel with people. Obviously we want to reach the lost, but there are those believers that need to be encouraged. This is a time of season too where, there's a lot of people, a lot of churches going to do trunk or treats and things like that. And, I'm not even going to get into, my thoughts on some of that type of, the pragmatic approach in many of those things. But I would just say and encourage you, if you're doing like a trunk or treat, or you're doing an outreach where you're going to, trying to reach a community, make sure you're giving them gospel tracts. Make sure you're every person that is doing, like, has a trunk that is decorated, have everyone giving them gospel tracts so that they would leave there. Because those gospel tracts are so valuable, so if you're going to do an outreach, use gospel tracts. What a remarkable gift God has given us. Print His word right on it, right? And another guy who came out there, his name was Christian. And he was out there with a couple other guys, that were out there. A couple of them were students, and they all went to the same church. Christian was an older man. But they come out there every Thursday to just try to go around and talk to people. They was encouraged by us being out there, because obviously there are some people that go out there and preach at the college campuses that are not so friendly, not so nice, the Pelagians. And so they were encouraged by it. And we were talking to this guy, Christian, this older gentleman that goes to the church with these two younger students. And he said he got saved by reading a gospel tract. He used to perform and do some gigs, and somebody put a tract in a card and gave it to him. And he got saved. So gospel tracts work. Obviously it's not us. It's the word of God that saves. It's not me trying to convince people. I had many conversations with people today about that, especially a man named Muhammad right before we left. But it's not us trying to convince people with evidences and truths that may help them understand. It's God who does the saving. And so just be encouraged. Share the gospel. Preach the word. Use gospel tracts. Get it out into the hands of people, because you never know how God may use that in the life of unbelievers and even in the life of believers.